Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. Today we're going to look at Fun World Halloween products. I want to say right at the top, this is not going to be a Scream ghost face video. In fact, the only Scream item you're going to see is this, which I bought just for this video. I'm looking at it because it's got a smudge on it. I didn't see that when I bought it. Anyway, that's the only ghost face I own. I did have a vintage Fantastic Faces character, like a 90s, one of the early ones. Not because I collected that, I just happened to have it. And I looked around, I can't find it. It wasn't the Weeping Ghost. It was one of the other ones. You know, it'll turn up one of these days, but it would be nice to have it here to show you, but I don't. The point is, though, this is not a Fantastic Faces Scream video. I don't collect Scream. This is the only Scream item I own. I don't collect Fantastic Faces. I collect 1970s and 1980s Fun World merchandise. 70s, 80s. Now, some of these I think are 90s, and these are here just to give you an idea of some of the later things that the company made. I don't know if these are 80s or 90s, but we'll talk about that. But basically, the main thing we're going to talk about would be this era of Fun World. That's my era. When I think of Fun World, I think of this cute little ghost on the package with a smiley face. Maybe he has a pumpkin like this one, maybe not. And cute little novelties like this little thing. That little witch. Little witch bendy on a cute little card. Or cool stuff like this. This is a Fun World jack-o'-lantern pipe. And originally it had some kind of a string that spun around or something. I don't have that. And it came on a card just like this witch. So it would have looked like that on the card. And if you Google, you'll see a picture of one of these pumpkin pipes on a card. I don't have it. I would like to have it. So if you have this pumpkin pipe on a card like this, let me know. It's something I want to collect. But I was hoping one would pop up before I did this video. That didn't happen. But anyway, so that's what Fun World means to me. It's this stuff. This is Fun World for me. For most collectors, when you say Fun World Halloween, you're talking about this. This is Fun World for most people. Most people who collect Fun World stuff collect this. And some people will collect this. And I have these, I mean, they're nice, I like them, but I have these mostly because I just wanted some representative examples of the later Fun World products. I don't have a comprehensive collection of these kinds of vinyl masks. But before we talk more about these, let me just talk about what Fun World is. And I will read some notes here. Oh, let's look at you saw the little ghost. Let's look at the Fun World logo here. That's the, I think, yeah, I guess you'd say that's like a early 80s, late 70s, early 80s Fun World logo. This mask is probably late 70s because it's kind of space Star Wars themed. Doesn't have a date on it, but I'm guessing it's, like 78, 79. So anyway, and I'll show you that mask and that package in a minute. I know that wasn't a good look at it. You'll see it, don't worry. Okay, so Fun World. That obviously it's a company, makes Halloween merchandise, but it also makes Easter and Christmas merchandise. Most people would say it was founded in 1963, but actually it was founded the way I look at it, in 1959 by a traveling salesman named Sam Rosenberg. And he was 59 years old when he started the company. It was originally called S. Rosenberg Christmas Company. And it sold Christmas and Easter novelties. So he was a traveling salesman, and he started middle age. Well, back then, that 59, today 59 is still kind of young. Back then, 59 was older than it is today. So he was kind of late in life, starting a new company. He had never, I don't want to say he never ran a company before. I don't know that. But his main job was traveling salesman. That's what he was. So he started this company, and it was successful. And in 1963, Sam's son-in-law, Stanley Geller, bought Sam's company, the S. Rosenberg Christmas Company, and renamed it Fun World, Easter Unlimited. That was the full name, Fun World Easter Unlimited. And I think that's officially still the name, Fun World Easter Unlimited. So that's why the company that's called Fun World, that name Fun World, started in 1963 when Sam bought it and renamed the company. Sam, he drove around in a station wagon peddling the company's products. So he would, I guess he would have catalogs and things of their products. He went in the station wagon, city to city, state to state, as a salesman for the company, perhaps the only salesman, I don't know, and traveled throughout the eastern United States. I don't know if he got past the Mississippi or not, but all through the eastern half of the country, or I'm flip this around, the eastern half. Here's Florida, here's California, here's New York. The eastern half of the country, and here's the Mississippi going down the middle. So he basically ran the company out of a station wagon. Fun World originally just worked with factories in Japan, but while in those early years with Sam, it expanded and worked with factories in Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Then in 1981, Alan Geller took over the company. Alan Geller. And he led the company through the 80s and 90s when Halloween really exploded. It shifted from just a kiddie holiday to an adult holiday. Kids still enjoyed it, but now teenagers and adults also participated in Halloween with adult activities and Halloween costume parties and all kinds of stuff like that. That really wasn't going on as much prior to the 80s, and there's all kinds of reasons for that. I think partly there were safety concerns about Halloween. That's a whole other story. And part of how the companies that produced Halloween products survived was shifting their marketing from being geared towards kids towards being geared toward older customers, because the safety concerns were not as big a deal with the older customers. So, but that whole safety thing kind of blew over. There was like a safety scare in the 70s and then another one in the 80s where people were saying maybe we need to end Halloween because it's not safe. But the holiday survived, and it's still here today. It's even survived COVID. Everyone thought last year we're not going to have Halloween, but we had Halloween. And people were cautious, but they did it. And I'm, as usual, watching my cat off camera. And, this year, COVID is a concern again, but we're going to have Halloween. So Halloween seems to survive no matter what happens. Everyone's always trying to pronounce it dead, saying, Halloween's over, no more Halloween, and it always just keeps going. So, but Halloween exploded in popularity in the 80s and 90s, particularly with older people and with adults. And Alan Geller was largely responsible for bringing Fun World into the modern day. And according to their website, he's the one who created this ghost face. Today, Fun World's one of the 3 largest Halloween suppliers in the world. It has 250 employees and 30 independent salespeople. It has offices in New York, Pennsylvania, Washington, California, and China. But the reason a lot of collectors know about Fun World is due to this mask, which I bought at Spirit, just for this video, so I'd have something Scream related to show you, because I knew a lot of people would click on a Fun World video and expect to see something to do with Scream, and if there wasn't anything, they'd be disappointed. So there you go, there's a Scream, da 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 da. Now you're satisfied, right? So this is the 2021 Ghostface mask by Fun World, and this has really eclipsed, at least with collectors, everything else Fun World has ever made. I mean, in the mind of a lot of collectors, this is Fun World. Not in my mind, but in the mind of a lot of people. Fun World in 1992 launched this line of masks called Fantastic Faces. And they were all made of vinyl, white vinyl, with a hood. Some had black hoods and some had white hoods. Well, over time it changed. They had different varieties. And I remember them in stores at the time. And they all look kind of like this Scream mask. This one was called the Weeping Ghost, but there were different characters. They all had a similar look. They weren't exactly the same. They had different expressions. Some looked more like a clownish, or some looked more like a vampire. But they all had a kind of similar style. And that line grew and grew through the 90s, and they kept adding more colors, more variations. And in 1996, the Wes Craven movie Scream used the Weeping Ghost Fantastic Faces mask from Fun World in the movie. And I remember I saw Scream when it was new in the theaters, and I remember seeing the mask thinking that you can buy that at the store. I was so surprised that they didn't make an original mask for the movie, that they used an off-the-shelf mask. And I guess, well, in Halloween, John Carpenter used an off-the-shelf Dawn Post Captain Kirk mask, but at least they customized it, they painted it, they cut the eyes out, they dyed the hair, they did all kinds of stuff. In this case, though, the Scream mask, it just was the Fun World mask. I think they customized the hood a little bit, but I think they put their own hood on it. But basically, it was the Fun World mask. They didn't customize it. So I remember thinking that was kind of weird when I saw the movie. It seemed a little cheesy, like that's that mask you can buy at the store. Anyone can buy that. So I thought that was a little strange. But now looking back, it's become iconic, and now it seems like there's no other mask that they could have used, that it had to be this mask in hindsight. There's an excellent video by Drowned Boy Productions. That's a YouTube channel, Drowned Boy Productions. And he's put out, as of this recording, a couple of recent videos about the history of the Fun World Scream Ghostface mask and how that came to be and how they decided to use it in the film, what the process was and their decision making, and how to tell the different varieties of Fun World ghost mask, how to tell one from the other, which the first generation, second generation, etc., etc. So I would recommend you seek out Drowned Boy Productions to find out more about that, because I'm not going to talk more about it. I'm pretty much through. I just understand that as I talk about this, most collectors, if they collect Fun World, collect this. This is what they collect. And they have just like dozens of different Ghostface masks. And then a few others collect stuff like this, which we'll talk about. But I don't. That's not what I collect. Fun World for me means something completely different. And that's what this is about. This video is about my experience with Fun World. Now, I grew up with Fun World masks. I grew up with that beautiful little ghost. looking forward to Halloween every year and being all excited to see these packages on the peg hooks, end caps full of this ghost package, because this was the Fun World corporate identity in the 70s, 1970s, was this ghost. Not Ghostface, this ghost. So that was my Fun World. And I have a whole box of 1970s ghost stuff to show you. But let's talk a little bit about these masks first. First, let's talk about the masks, and then we'll talk about... I'm watching my cat. He's about to knock off several valuable masks off a shelf over there, so... Oh well, whatever. Let's talk about the masks. Okay. So these are later. I don't know if these are 80s or 90s, but these are all vinyl. These are all vinyl masks. These are not rubber. And they're on styrofoam heads just for this video. I don't usually keep them on styrofoam heads. So even this one, which looks like a rubber mask, is actually a vinyl mask. And I bought him. Am I going to be able to show him to you? Here, let's show you this guy since he's here. Fun World made a lot of masks like this. I mean, you could have a collection of just these kinds of Fun World vinyl masks. They were prolific in making these kinds of things. And I am not an expert. I don't know if these have individual names. I don't think they do, but if they do, I don't know what they are. I don't know exactly what year they're from. I just know they're Fun World vinyl masks. This one I bought because it reminded me of the Yeti. And the same guy who had this had a Be Something Studios Visitor, which also looks like a Yeti. It looks like an outer space Yeti. And I bought them both. And I think I paid $15 for the Visitor and, I don't know, $5 or $10 for this one. And I've sold the Visitor, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago? Because the Visitor became a very expensive, sought-after mask. This, no one is seeking this mask. So, you know, it doesn't matter if this... I don't know why I'm scared to drop it, because nothing will happen to it. It's a vinyl mask. Unlike a rubber mask, which can get old and brittle and easily damaged, this vinyl, these things never change. They last forever. And, you know, if you take care of them, a 40-year-old vinyl mask will look just like it did the day it was made. So no one wants this mask, though. This is not a viable mask. It's a cool mask. I like it. But it's not, it doesn't have any monetary value, which is fine. I want to look at this tag here. Made in China. It's got the Fun World Division, Easter Unlimited Incorporated, Carl Place, New York, made in China. Thought maybe it'd have a date. Nope, no date. I don't know, I'm just guessing it's late 80s, early 90s. And I don't know if this will stand up again, will it? Kind of, sort of. Okay. This is a cool one. I like this. And other collectors have kind of taken an interest in this one for some reason. I don't know why. But he's kind of I wouldn't say he's sought after, no, but I'm not the only one who is interested in it. Let's just put it that way. It's a cool mask. It's weird. I like these fluorescent, almost black light kind of colors. Really weird. Unusual. And I know there are people who have... I don't think he's going to stand up. Let's put him down here for a minute. Well, I just leave him there. I know people who have shelves just full of these Fun Worlds, and they look great. They're very colorful. Imagine 20 of these, just next to each other. it makes a statement. It's a very bright and colorful and cool looking display. They don't have a lot of monetary value. Hardly any of it, unless you're talking about the Scream masks or the Fantastic Faces. They don't have a lot of monetary value. But they're cool. I like them. I collect Topstone. These are not Topstone, but they're kind of Topstone adjacent. And that's kind of why I got, well, I mean, I collect Fun World 1970s and 80s stuff, so there's that, but also they're kind of Topstone-esque. So that's one reason for me to be interested in them, because I collect Topstone. All right, and finally, there's this orange guy. I like this nice Halloween orange with the green hair. And a lot of the ones in this series, this style, have little bibs. They have necks that extend down. And it makes it a little hard to display. You have to have them on a stand that's tall enough to make room for that. Otherwise, they kind of bend out. It's okay on these styrofoam heads, but you don't want to store something like this on a styrofoam head. I've heard different things about vinyl and styrofoam. My experience is that the styrofoam doesn't really hurt the vinyl. The vinyl does eat into the styrofoam, but the problem then is that it gets stuck to the styrofoam, and it can be hard to take off. Now, latex also gets stuck to the styrofoam, but the styrofoam will turn the latex brittle. So not only does it get stuck to it, but the latex turns hard and cracks because of the reaction with the styrofoam. That's my experience. Other people may disagree. So if I put a latex mask on a styrofoam head, I always put some kind of barrier between the styrofoam and the latex. I'll either paint the head and then put like a gloss coat over that, or I'll put a plastic bag over the head or something so that the latex isn't touching the styrofoam. And before I started doing that, I ruined several masks putting them on latex, on styrofoam heads. Then I got wise to that. I'll be surprised if one of these doesn't fall over while I'm talking. Okay, so now let's talk about this mask. This is sci-fi inspired, post-Star Wars, outer space. But that mask, it's a shock monster. It's a knockoff of the Topstone shock monster. But it's being marketed as if it were an alien. And here's some of the other masks in the series. Collect them all. And in this particular series, I only had this one. That one right there, the shock monster one. Spaced out rubber faces. Full over the head, spaced out rubber faces. Over the head, slip-on rubber monster masks for adults and teens. One size fits all, made in Hong Kong. So, here is the mask that went in that. So this is obviously it's a card, but it separates. So a bag would have gone in between there. And this is what would have been in the bag. That is the mask. Now this is rubber. This is latex rubber. This is not vinyl. This is latex rubber. It's rubber. The card says it's rubber, and sure enough, it's rubber. And that's obviously a Topstone knockoff. Not only is it sculpted to resemble a shock monster, I believe it was actually cast from a shock monster, because you see where the Keith Ward creation logo would have been, it's all torn away. You can see the shards. Look at that. They like ripped it away where the Keith Ward logo would have been. And look at the edge. They just took a shock monster mask that seems like it was practically rotting around the edges. And this one's turning colors too. And look at that. Look at the edge. So they took an actual shock monster mask and just cast a mold of it to make this. And they changed a few things. They didn't do it exactly the same, but it's basically a shock monster. I'm concerned about this little brown spot. It's going to worry me now. It's not turning hard. It's okay. But it will. All these rubber masks, if you don't foam them, they all turn to dust eventually. Unfortunately. I just had to throw away a Topstone 80s Werewolf. I had a foamed one, but I had another one that was not foamed, and I was digging around. I was trying to find that Fantastic Faces mask. And I was digging around, and I pulled out this Werewolf. It was stuffed. It was in a bag, and it just turned to a wafer. It was like a cracker or something. It just crumbled in my hands, basically. If you don't foam them, sooner or later, that's what happens to them. So there's a Fun World rubber mask. Now let's look at some other Fun World rubber masks. These are all in packages. Now, is there a date on any of these? No. But these are made in Taiwan. Funky rubber faces, slip-on rubber monster masks, one size fits all. So, again, rip-offs of Topstone. This is obviously a rip-off of the Topstone Mummy. And there he is. And he is semi-pliable. Here is a skull. And that one looks like it might be a ripoff of a Don Post skull. There's the actual mask. And this one's pretty firm. It's solidified. You couldn't take that out. Here is a devil. Funky rubber faces, Fun World devil. Look at that guy. Now that looks like it might be taken from a Rudel mask, perhaps. It doesn't look like a Topstone. So there's what's left of the devil. Yeah, he's hard. Most of these bagged ones are hard as a rock. Now I have him in another bag. I wonder why I did that. Okay, here's a werewolf, a wolfman. And this looks like it's taken from a Don Post. That's probably ripped off a Don Post mask. Unless someone else has any candidates. If it's not Don Post, what is it? Here's what he looks like. And I think he's still soft. Is he? Yeah, he's still absolutely soft. I guess that's why he's in the bag. Why I put him in this other bag, I don't know. As if that's going to do any good. So that one, strangely, is still soft. I don't know why. I guess so. Oh gosh, this staple's coming loose. Another reason he's in the bag. Okay. Okay. So anyway, these are pretty cool, even though they're hard as a rock. I like that I have them. All these packaged Fun World Funky Rubber Faces masks. And I noticed some of the cards are wider than others. And spaced out rubber faces, I guess the sister series to that. This is the sci-fi one, this is the horror one, I guess. I don't know. Let's take another look at this, because this is, I think this is kind of important, because it's like a vintage shock monster, basically. It's, you know, it's a knockoff, but it's made, looks like it's made directly from a shock monster. I have a couple of original vintage shock monsters, but I also like knockoffs of shock monsters. I have several of those, vintage ones. Okay, so that's all the masks, the Fun World masks I wanted to look at. So now we're going to take a moment to clear the masks away, and then we're going to talk about the Ghost logo period in the 70s, because these are all later. Well, not this. I mean, these bagged ones are late 70s, but these vinyl ones are like late 80s or 90s. Well, we're going to talk about the 70s Fun World products in a minute, and also some dolls. That Fun World made dolls too. We're going to look at those. We'll look at those last, because those are probably my favorite Fun World items. So we'll be back in a moment. Hello, we're back. Most of the masks are gone. I've cleared them away. I kept a few. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Fun World that I grew up with. The Fun World that made these cute little novelties, like this little pipe. The Fun World known for the cute little ghost logo. And where should I put this? Let's put him right there. And we'll put him back here. Okay, so in the 80s and 90s, well, in more than 90s, in the 90s, Fun World, their aesthetic and their packaging switched to this purple style with green lettering like that. Everything they made had that purple look, and that really became the dominant Halloween product style, coloring style. Really, till the present, it's still with us. Halloween stuff still looks like that. And a lot of Topstone 90s items also had this purple color style, color scheme with the green lettering. This is a candle. You light the candle and the alien, his brains melt out of his eyes, I guess. So this is a Fun World item. And that's what their 90s stuff looked like. It was all purple, purple, purple on all the packaging. And a lot of it still is. A lot of, not just Fun World, but Halloween products in general, all through the 90s had that purple style. And even into the 2000s to the present, you still see that. But when I was a kid, that's not what it looked like. When I was a kid, that was Halloween. orange, like you would expect on a Halloween item, and white for a ghost. Look at that little character. Isn't he cute? Everything about this is cute. So this is a mask. This is a plastic mask with a movable jaw. Halloween moving mouth mask. I put away my magnifying glass too soon. Lower jaw moves when wearer speaks. Made in Hong Kong. He's so cute. And I like that goofy artwork. That's supposed to be you when you wear this mask. That's what you look like wearing the mask. So, it's a hard mask. It's not rubber. A little kid would wear this, and as they move their jaw, the jaw on this thing would open and close. How am I going to manage this as far as I'm going to have a pile of junk building up here? I don't know. We'll sit it down here for now. So that's the kind of stuff Fun World made. I'm going to save that one for later. They made these kinds of novelties, like this, these glasses. Let me get this out of here. And I have a carded example that you'll see in a moment. But these are glasses. Now, Topstone also made stuff like this. There's a lot of crossover between Topstone and Fun World, really all the way through their histories, in the 70s, 80s, into the 90s. But these are glasses. So you would wear these two Frankensteins. But this is a Fun World item. But Topstone made very similar kinds of glasses, and I don't know if the molds are exactly the same, but they might be. And I don't know how much of this stuff Fun World originated, and how much of it would have existed with or without Fun World, and they just sort of bought it from Hong Kong and picked it up to distribute. But a lot of the Fun World stuff has its own unique style. So I think a lot of it did originate with Fun World. Now here's something, the Halloween click trick. Now this, for a while, this was one of the more sought after Fun World items. This was starting to go for significant money, but apparently there was a find of these in the last year, and this one came from that find. So now they're available, whereas they were not available a couple of years ago, because I got outbid on a few of these over the years, and they always went for big bucks. So if you are interested in one of these, go on eBay and look for the Fun World click trick and buy them while they're available, because they used to be very rare. Now they're not. Now you can find minty ones like this one, but that's not going to last forever. Who knows how many? There could be 100 of them, could be 2 more of them. When they're gone, they're gone. So if you're interested, I'd say this is the time to buy it. And these are just noisemakers. You know, well, actually, I do have one, I think, loose in here, but you just press it and click, 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 click. And there's a tradition that goes way back for Halloween noisemakers. I did a episode a couple of years ago, like 1940s, 50s kind of Halloween noisemakers, where I showed you some of those. Press the back for clicking sound, for party playing, for trick or treating. Fun World Division, Glen Cove, New York, made in Hong Kong. And I think one of the things I love about Fun World is this party favor style. These look like party favors. And all the Fun World stuff looks like party favors, and I like that. It's like something for a kid's Halloween party. if you're planning a kids' Halloween party in the mid-1970s, you'll go to the drugstore or the Ben Franklin store and find the Fun World end cap and just stock up. Here we go with some cool Fun World disguises. And of course, you know, all kinds of companies had stuff like this. I'm sure if you are interested in this genre of item, then you've seen this kind of junk before. But look at that goofball illustration. I love that. Not just the ghost, he's cute too, but look at this. I love these images of what you're supposed to look like when you wear this stuff. And you know, I was talking in another video about packaging and good packaging versus bad packaging, good art versus bad art. Classic toy art inspires you to imagine what it's going to be like to play with the toy. So when you look at the toy art, it's not depicting the toy, it's not depicting the character, if it's a licensed kind of thing. It's depicting you. It's showing you this imaginative world, what you're going to feel like when you play with this thing. This is how you could play with a toy, and this is what it's going to be like when you play with it. And most classic toy art has that quality, and that's what this goofy little image reminds me of. It's showing you what you're going to feel like when you play with it. You're going to feel like that. Let's see what this is. Fun Uglies for Little Mischief Makers. Fun Uglies for Little Mischief Makers. Isn't that adorable? Fun Uglies for Little Mischief Makers. And that's a little mischief maker. And I was also a little mischief maker when these were new. So it's a cheesy little junk item, but I can look at it and talk for 10 minutes about it. And that's why I collect stuff. I could not do that with a Gen 1 Scream, Weeping Ghost, whatever. I'd say, here it is. It's worth a lot of money. Want to buy it? That's about all I could do. I couldn't talk and talk and talk about it like I can talk about these goofy things. I'm going to set that aside. Oh, these are cool. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Halloween Gruesomes, and you'll see how it's spelled in a second here. For decorating, for playing, for trick-or-treating. And none of these have dates on them. And this plastic is part of the product. I didn't put this plastic on it, so I can't take it. Well, I could, but I'm not going to take it off. So, Halloween Gruesomes, spelled like you see there, Gruesomes. There's the friendly ghost with his pumpkin, and it's a little skeleton jiggler. Is he gruesome? Yeah, I don't know about that. He's cute. It's a little Halloween skeleton jiggler on a ghost pumpkin card. Look at that. It's so much better than that purple green stuff. I like this much more. And then here's a spider. I thought I had a bat too. I don't know. Here's a spider. Halloween Gruesomes. A black rubber spider. And this has a barcode. So I'm thinking this is a little later. Most of the stuff does not have barcodes. Yeah, that does not have a barcode. Most of them don't. So I'm thinking the ones with barcodes are from a little bit later. Save that. Okay, now here is a packaged example of the glasses. Halloween Mask Eyes. Halloween Mask Eyes, a perfect disguise at trick or treat time. And this does not have the ghost logo. Isn't that cute? Look at that little witch. Very, very cute. Nice green stems there. Nice green color. Just tucked it back in its little tab there. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay. Let's put you over here. And we'll save you. Now, okay, here's an item I need to upgrade because the condition's not that great. It's a Halloween safety light. Slip-on pumpkin for safe trick-or-treating. Use 2 C-type batteries. So, this is a very cool-looking little item. It's a flashlight with a pumpkin that snaps on it. And it's got a really neat background card. It's just it's a surprisingly thick card behind it to give it a little environment there. A haunted house. Unfortunately, this header card is in bad shape, and everyone, well, not everyone, everyone that there was a good one that I missed out on, but other than that, every other one I've seen has been stained or damaged or something's wrong with it, like this one. I don't know why. Maybe they all came from the same source and they all got damaged. This has some staining on the header card. Of course, I'd like to have a pristine one. Okay, what's next? Save you. This is a little different. This is almost like an Imagineering kind of a fun world toy, and we'll have an Imagineering episode perhaps next Halloween. I would really like to have a Incredible Melting Man Imagineering makeup kit before I do an Imagineering episode. I don't have one. I would like to have one, of course. But I'll wait till next Halloween, and then I'll do it with or without the Melting Man makeup kit. But anyway, so this is Fun Blood in Fangs. Safe, non-toxic. Flows like blood. Soft, pliable, plastic fangs made in Hong Kong. Fun Blood. So this is basically a Imagineering ripoff of Vampire Blood and Vampire Teeth. This is called Fun Blood because it's a fun world. You see the little character there? That's a weird character with that stake. I guess that's a vampire. Looks like a druid vampire hunter. It's a druid or actually, I guess it's a vampire hunter who's infiltrated the vampire's lair, and maybe they're doing a ceremony, and they're all in these cloaks, these hoods, and he's snuck in there, and now he's going to stake them. Going to drive that stake in their hearts. I thought he looked a little like Forey Ackerman, actually. I mean, obviously unintentionally. And you can see these are the same Fangs Imagineering used because it's got that little chip in the tooth. That uneven tooth. And I have an Imagineering collection that we'll see on a future episode, probably next Halloween. But that's what you just saw there is not Imagineering. That's Fun World copying Imagineering. Okay, let's see. How many of these do I have? Just these two? Or is there another one? I think that's it, just these two. Okay, so these are horns, noisemakers. Let's look at it. Halloween spooky horn. Squeeze my head and I shriek. Honk, honk. Okay, now these are really cute. There's the card. And here's the horn. I like the shape of that skull, the way it's turned up like that. Is there any design here I should be looking at? No, I don't think so. Does he still squeak? I'm not going to squeeze him. Okay. Oh, here's a black cat. I see a black cat right there. Yeah, this bag's a little more crinkly, so it's a little harder to get a look at him. I think you can see him. That's interesting. They made the inside black on this one. It's orange on the other one. And I think I remember seeing these specific horns when I was a kid. I seem to remember these horns being around. I don't remember a lot of specific Fun World things if I didn't own it myself. I just remember the end cap, just all the ghost logos everywhere. And they were around with that ghost logo for years and years, because I remember throughout my childhood, every year Halloween, that ghost logo package would keep coming back. I recognize those Fun World products year after year after year. Oh wow, I got a lot of these. Whoa, I have quite a few of these. This might be too many to show. Oh, we'll try it. Oh, here's something weird. Now this is pretty rudimentary. Scampering spooky spider. There's not much to that. It almost looks like a homemade item. It just kind of goes, why do I have this gigantic bag for this little thing? I don't know. I'm sure I have more valuable things with no bag, and they have this goofy little thing with this gigantic bag. Alright, so, oh boy, I have this really, I have this wrapped up tight. These are bendies, and I think you probably want to see the bendies. Yay, there's one down. Cut this out. Okay. I took forever. So, here's a cute little Halloween bendables. Here's a cute little vampire. Look at him, isn't he nice? He's got blood on his hands. Don't we all have blood on our hands when you really think about it. I like his red cape. Scarecrow. I like his green color. I think it's got a lot of green. Let's see here. Here's another Scarecrow. And that, of course, is like that witch we saw. I think these are from, yeah, they're from the same set. Yeah, they're from the same series. So what else? Here's a little devil. This is a take apart play action figures. But they always spell things weird. Tack apart, how they spell it. Take apart, bends in any position. So there's the picture, shows a witch. But the toy is a devil. And what is this, a skull? What has he got there? Oh yeah, there it is, it's a skull. Can you see the skull? No, you can't really. There you go. Yeah, you can see him. So he's got a skull. I guess he holds a skull. These are the same. I got two of these witches. So that's the witch that's on the card. Here she is. She's a friendly witch. I guess that's it. There's the two of them. I'm sure there are other characters. Okay. How did I have this? Don't know. Let's put them all back here. Put them there. These two. All right. What else do we have? Here is Halloween Lapel light. Pull the cord, watch the pumpkin face light up. Where did this come from? Hills. I've never heard of Hills. The store name is Hills. Okay, there it is. And you see it's got that witch again. We've seen her before. And it doesn't have the ghost. So this era they must have been focused on that witch. I like the little jack-o'-lantern there. A couple of little jack-o'-lanterns. There it is. So that's cute. Far cry from Ghostface, isn't it? Someone clicking on this video thinking they're going to see all the different fantastic faces, Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they see this stuff. Okay. This is cool. This is a witch figure. Halloween flying witch. Will she get out of there? Oh, another one of these all wrapped up tight. Okay. Halloween flying witch. Pull the string and watch the witch climb up and down. When I see pull the string, I think of Bela Lugosi. Arms turn round and round, no batteries, no motor, no key, magic action. So here is this witch figure, and again, they've got that witch logo, but she's playing with a toy of herself, see? She's playing with this toy. And there it is. It's a grouchy witch. The flying witch. And this also comes in an orange version. I only have this green one. But there is an orange version. I don't think she actually has a broom, does she? Yeah, she kind of does. No, that's her gown. That's not the broom. So no, she doesn't have a broom. She looks like she'd be on a broom. Huh. So I guess it's kind of like a yo-yo, I suppose, and she goes up and down, and she waves her arms around. One more look at it. So that's a pretty cool toy. A flying witch. All right. Getting very near the end. Glow-in-the-dark, soft and puffy stick-ons. There's a lot of stuff like this that I have not bought. I probably should buy a few more things like this. Now, here's the ghost. Ghost is returned, but now it's orange. Puffy stickers. Skullman, Wolfman, Dracula, the Witch, Pumpkinhead, Frankenstein. Stick on anything and anywhere. Use again and again and again. Here's another witch toy. I think this was the year of the witch, because I think all this witchy stuff came out at the same time. It has a similar look, and none of it has the ghost on it. Oh, there's a little black cat on it. So this is called the Jabberwacky, not Jabberwocky, Jabberwacky. Wind it up and watch it jabber. Try it. Through the hole in bottom of package. So it's a kind of a grotesque witch. And that mouth opens and closes. I don't know if it moves around or something. I don't know. The bottom of the toy has this ancient rubber band, which is still there. I don't want to mess with that. Look at the little black cat. Isn't he cute? It's Billy. So this is a neat toy. It's pretty cool. I keep touching that rubber band underneath. I know it's going to snap if I'm not careful. Get it. That ancient rubber band. Now this is going to be difficult to show you, but it's a cool item, so I need to do it. Okay, so this is the Scarum Gun. The Scarum Gun. And this toy was, this box was practically decimated when I got it. And I carefully restored it. Here is the Scarum Gun inside of this thing. That's what it looks like. It's a rather substantial toy, actually. It's kind of heavy. It's got metal parts. Got a grumpy looking jack-o'-lantern. I guess he sparks when you pull that. Got a cool kind of, you know, sci-fi ray gun kind of style. The Scarum Gun. You're gonna scare him with this thing. So that's a neat toy. A very neat toy. Neat toy with cool packaging. Very cool packaging. Let's get back in there. And interesting that, yeah, the ghost is not on this one either. There's no ghost on this one. Oh, it's got a siren. Scarum Gun with siren. That's interesting. So it looks like, from these little stars, that it must sparkle. This, you know, must be like a friction thing that sparks in there. But it also says it has a siren. Okay, let's put him back. All right, now I want to show you, we'll show you this one, this puppet thing here. Halloween finger puppet. This is one of my favorite Fun World items. The Halloween finger puppet set. Look at these finger puppets. A Frankenstein, and a witch, and a devil, and a pirate. Look at the cute little costumes that they're wearing. And of course, these completely look like party favors, and that's what I like about it. They have that party favor look. They have little arms printed on them. They're cute. Very cute. Okay. Now, here are the Halloween Grabbits. Halloween Grabbit. To operate, hold like a scissor. Hold like a scissor. Halloween Grabbit. How does this come out of here? Come out of here, Halloween Grabbit. There we go. All right, so here is the Frankenstein Halloween Grabbit. And here's the Devil Halloween Grabbit. It looks like a South Park character, doesn't it? But look at that face, that devil face. Now here is... before I show you that, let me show you this. So this is an important piece for me. This is a puppet, a hand puppet. A devil hand puppet. He's so cute. And it's the same devil that's on that. It's the same devil character. And there's a Frankenstein like this that looks just like this Frankenstein. There's a Frankenstein puppet. I don't know if they made other puppets, but as a kid, I had this devil puppet. And I probably still have my childhood one somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been able to find him, but he's probably around somewhere. But I think his eyes are missing. This one still has its eyes. And when it was new, these eyes were filled with liquid. I don't know if it was water or oil, but it was a clear liquid, and these eyes rolled around. And this is my #1 top want as far as Fun World merchandise is concerned. I want a packaged example of this devil puppet. It came in a bag with a header card, and the card looked like the ghost. It had the ghost logo. So imagine a header card like that, and then this was in a bag. So my #1, he's got a little sticky spot here. I wonder what that is. Hope he's not disintegrating. My #1 want, as far as Fun World stuff is concerned, would be this devil. I want this devil in a bag with a header card sealed. Now, because his eyes were filled with liquid, now as a collector, I've never seen the devil or the Frankenstein in a package. A friend of mine had the Frankenstein loose, the puppet, but I've never seen either one in a package since I was a child. And it might be because their eyes were filled with liquid that over time it drained, and that might have ruined the packaged, whatever packaged ones were surviving over the years, that might have gotten ruined eventually. So it could be that the loose ones survive because they are loose. So if the liquid drained, it just evaporated. But I can imagine if the eyes started to leak and it was in a bag, that and the water got on the puppet and couldn't evaporate, that would probably create a big mess. But this is my favorite Fun World item. This devil puppet is my favorite Fun World piece. And I would like very much to have a packaged example. I'd like to have the Frankenstein in a package too, but I didn't have the Frankenstein as a kid. I had the devil as a kid, and I really liked my devil puppet as a kid. So I would like to, and I remember because of the liquid in the eyes, my dad was afraid that it was contaminated water from China, from some creek in China where they didn't have sanitation or something, and he was really afraid I was going to catch a disease from this contaminated foreign water in the eyeballs. So my dad had to pop the eyeballs out and crack them somehow and drain the water and then put them back in. So he did, and my devil, his eyes were intact after this operation, but the water was drained out. My dad, however he did it, drained the water and then put the eyes back because he was afraid the water had some kind of alien bacteria in it and I was going to get sick from it. And maybe I would have, I don't know. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Let's just come off. How do I get this off? Should. So this is a pretty cool item. These are Halloween Screechers. Twirl the Screecher round and round. Listen to its eerie sound. To make noise with, to play with, to trick or treat with. So, again, this is from the witch logo era instead of the ghost era. So there's the witch using the product, and it's going, rrr. You see a little alarmed looking face spinning around. And this is what it looks like. Look at that. That is something else. I mean, that is a great 1970s Halloween piece. Look at those faces. Now, that's not the devil character we were just looking at, so it's not from the same year, apparently. And it wouldn't be because they're using the witch logo instead of the ghost logo, so it's from a different year. But look at those devils and that Frankenstein. Isn't that awesome? Look at that Frankenstein design. That is iconic Halloween Frankenstein. And that witch has a beautiful, evil, cackling green witch. What does this foil thing say? Give toys for safe trick or treating. 9 party toys. So again, it's like party favors, and they got that safe trick or treating theme going. So this must have been after that. I told you there was a 70s safety scare and an 80s safety scare. This must have been after the 70s one. They're trying to emphasize safety. Give toys instead of candy because they thought there'd be razor blades in the candy. Oh boy. Razor blades in the candy and needles and things. I don't know if this has changed since the last time I read about it, but as of at least a few years ago, there had never been a documented case of a razor blade or a needle hidden in Halloween candy. It never happened. Everyone was so worried about it. I mean, maybe it's happened very recently, but since last time I read about it, it had never happened. Certainly in the 70s and 80s when everyone was worried about it, it never happened. It was just an urban legend, a panic. I think more recently the fear is that they're going to put drugs in the candy. And of course, anyone who used drugs wouldn't give away their free drugs to kids in candy. Just the whole thing is absurd. What drugs are going to be in candy? But the drugs have replaced the razor blade now. Instead of the candy having razor blades in it, now it's got drugs in it. Ridiculous. People are just always scared of something to do with Halloween. I think it's just, I think there's an uneasiness about the fact that we even have Halloween. The fact that we have a holiday that celebrates monsters and death, supernatural. I think there's a force in society that just would rather see it go away. But it's not going away. You can't get rid of Halloween. And this, I don't know if this is a fun world item or not. This is a childhood toy, and as I look at it, I don't think it is fun world, but I'm just going to show it anyway. This is my childhood witch doll. This is a witch, obviously. I called her Witchy Poo as a kid. She's a beautiful toy. I'm thinking, this looks like a Knickerbocker item. But she's really cute. And it's the kind of thing Fun World might have made. I don't know if they did. Probably not. As I look at it now, it looks more like maybe Knickerbocker, but it was only for Halloween. It was only available 1 year for Halloween, this cute little witch doll. And there's no tag on her. I mean, there was, but I cut it off when I was a kid because I didn't like the tag on there. And her head came off at one point, and my mom sewed it back on. So I really liked this witch a lot. I played with her a lot. And if she's not Fun World, she might be, but if she's not, she should be. She's an honorary Fun World as far as I'm concerned. I thought she was, but as I look at her now, just the style of the way she's done, she's probably not. Probably not Fun World. But she's still cool. Okay. Now we're going to look at some dolls. Here we go. These are... So I said the devil was my favorite Fun World item. And that's true, the devil puppet, because I have that childhood connection to it. But I guess if... I think these are the most unique Fun World items I have. These are the most unique ones. And I think these are a little bit later. Well, does it have a year? I'm sure it doesn't, but let's just check and see if it does. Nope, no year. But it's made in Hong Kong. So this is the Let's Pretend series of dolls with Halloween costumes. Complete with 2 costumes and 2 masks. Has a turning head, jointed arms and legs, and flocked hair. Let's Pretend. So this is a doll, a girl's doll. And the doll, it has a Halloween costume and mask. So it has a vampire girl, kind of like the Collegeville female vampire costume. And it has a female Native American. In her costume. And I guess the vampire costume is in there too somewhere, but I don't see it. It says 2 costumes and 2 masks, so I guess it's in the box somewhere. So there's the back. And I've only seen these 2 dolls that I've got. And there's only 4 costumes. So even if they made all 3 dolls, they didn't make another set of costumes. But these dolls are really... This is the earliest and perhaps the only example I can think of a toy based on kids wearing Halloween costumes. Can you think of another mass-produced toy of children wearing Halloween costumes? I can't. This box has some fading on it here, but the costumes are great. So even though I like the vampire in the other one, I think this is my favorite of the 2, just because I like both of these. It's a witch and a clown. Let's Pretend. Here's the girl, There's the witch and the clown masks. That's what the side looks like. Let's pretend. There's the Fun World logo. Same back. Let's see if I can get these both on screen at the same time. So this is, these are pretty darn cool. I mean, I like that. I would say these are my favorite Fun World items, if not for that childhood connection I have to that devil puppet. But that is pretty darn cool. Those are unique toys. If you're a Halloween collector, you can't get much better than dolls of little kids with Halloween costumes and masks that they can wear. And the masks and the costumes look like actual, and they're not exactly one-to-one, but they're obviously inspired by actual costumes that were available. They look like inspired by Collegeville, really. Actual Collegeville costumes and masks. So they're not exact copies, because that would be, they get in trouble for that, but they're obviously inspired by it. So I think these are pretty incredible little toys. And no one knows they exist, but they're pretty cool. So those, like as I said, if not for that childhood connection to the devil puppet, these would be my favorite Fun World items. I think that's it. There you go. There's the universe of Fun World. No Scream, I'm sorry. No Fantastic Faces. No 90s or 2000s stuff. This is all 70s into the early 80s. I like this. Let's pretend. I'm guessing these are early 80s, probably. And this is what Fun World means to me. So when I was a child, Fun World was a big part of my childhood, just like Imagineering, just like Topstone, Ben Cooper. These were the companies of Halloween. Whenever Halloween rolled around, I would go to Ben Franklin or Kresge, go to the Halloween section, and I would see the Fun World end cap. I would see the Ben Cooper costume boxes stacked up. The Ben Cooper jigglers on the peg hooks. Wire bin full of Topstone masks just piled up in there. That was Halloween. And it's cool going to like a spirit store today, or Walgreens or CVS with their Halloween sections. And I haven't been to Target this Halloween, so I don't know what their section looks like this year. But they usually have a good section. And it's neat. But all this old cheesy stuff we used to have, there was just something about that. Of course, it's nostalgia, it's my childhood, but there's just something about the low-tech kind of humbleness of all this stuff. It's not slick, it's not overproduced, overhyped, and it's definitely meant for children. It's not for an adult customer base. It's for kids. It's for kids' Halloween parties, party favors. It's meant for kids. And I certainly enjoyed it. It was part of what these are the things that helped me to enjoy childhood. I wouldn't say I had a particularly happy childhood, but this kind of stuff gave me happiness. The stuff you see on this show gave me happiness. So I'm glad I was able to share it with you. Fun World, you don't really talk about it except in the context of Scream. You don't really talk about Fun World very much in collecting circles. if you're not talking about Scream. But it's important to me, and it's a major thing that I collect. As you've seen, I have quite a few Fun World items, and I'll probably buy more Fun World in the future. I really like Fun World, and when I think of Halloween, part of what I think of is that ghost logo and that name, Fun World. Okay, that's it. Have a happy Halloween. I don't know, by the time I upload this, I think the giveaway will be over. But we're having our annual Halloween giveaway. But the deadline will have passed by the time you see this. But we still have the Bleak Sunday videos up, and those will stay up, and that playlist will stay up. So if you haven't yet, check out the Bleak Sunday video playlist. 13 YouTube channels came together to create all kinds of different Halloween themed content. A lot of great videos, all different styles and perspectives and subject matter, a lot of different things. There's something for everybody in that playlist. So check out the Bleak Sunday playlist. You'll find that on my channel. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you so much for watching Raymond Castile's Basement of